I have been praying with my family in front of abortion clinics for as long as I can remember. I have vivid memories of standing along LaGrange Road on windy summer days, struggling to hold on to a poster that was taller than I was, or shivering on a Chicago street corner singing Christmas carols with Joe Scheidler. While some people may balk at the idea of exposing a child that young to the horrific and controversial issue of abortion, something happened one day that made me very grateful for what my parents did. I was about 10 years old, and I was standing on that loud, dusty street corner that I have already alluded to, and amid the singing and car honking and occasional shouting, I noticed a man drive by, sticking a definite thumbs down out his window. Now, of course, I'd seen this a lot, and I'd learned not to let it bother me. But what did get to me was his little girl in the back seat doing it too. At that moment, I finally realized how important it was that my parents showed me the truths of abortion from the very beginning. Unfortunately, it is all too common for parents to completely avoid discussing this issue with their children, allowing society to teach them what it wants them to know. In a 2015 speech, former Planned Parenthood director Abby Johnson admitted that she grew up in a pro-life home, but she didn't know what that meant. She had to learn the hard way. So what are some of the ways the abortion industry misleads the public and convinces grown men that it's okay to insult 10-year-old kids? First of all, people need to understand Planned Parenthood's reason for being. Claiming to be one of the nation's leading women's healthcare providers, they boast about providing life-saving cancer screenings and other services. Planned Parenthood does provide cancer screenings, but they amount to only about 2% of the nation's total. Clearly, if a woman needs this service, there's somewhere else she can go. However, Planned Parenthood does do more than 1/3 of the nation's abortions, over 320,000, which surpasses any other single company in the country. That's like wiping out the city of Pittsburgh every year. And when they tell you that abortions account for only 3% of their services, that's because they count every little thing patients come in for as a separate but equal service. So if a woman comes in for an abortion but also receives 3 associated services, the abortion is counted as only 25% of her visit. Live Action President Lila Rose had a very apt analogy for this in one of her videos. Imagine if the NFL said that every year they play 256 games but sell 5 million hot dogs. So obviously, football is only 0.005% of what they do. The reality is that 1 in 8 women who visits a Planned Parenthood receives an abortion, and a child is killed there every 89 seconds. No matter how you spin it, that is not 3%. Even worse than misleading the general public, abortion centers lie to the very women they claim to serve. Again, Abby Johnson has frequently related the time she assisted at the abortion of a 12-week-old baby and saw it trying to squirm away from the instruments. She kept repeating to herself what Planned Parenthood had told her, that the fetus cannot feel pain before 28 weeks. Why 28 weeks? Because Planned Parenthood does not do abortions past that point. Of course, the biggest lie the abortion movement tells women is that the fetus is formless, that abortion isn't killing. What makes this even worse is that abortion providers know it isn't true. In an article in American Medical News, one abortionist expressed getting angry at himself for feeling good about a technically correct procedure that kills a baby. He used those very words, kills a baby. Stories like this probably horrify you, and rightly so, but we should never fall into the trap of thinking about pro-choicers and abortion workers as those other people. In 2014, 54% of women receiving an abortion identified as either Protestant or Catholic. This is not just a them problem. This is our problem. I don't blame that beautiful little girl I saw for imitating her father. And I don't even really blame her father for swallowing the deceptions the abortion industry works so hard to create. The ones who are to blame are the ones who know and do nothing about it. I beg you, do not be one of those people. Every single one of us probably has friends, neighbors, coworkers, or even fellow churchgoers who either support or have had an abortion. We can all work every day to defund Planned Parenthood and pass pro-life legislation, and that is all very commendable. But ultimately, that is not how we end abortion. We cannot all be full-time pro-life leaders, like Abby Johnson or the late Joe Scheidler, but we could all do a little more. One more hour in front of a clinic, one more daily prayer, one more conversation with a misled loved one. And I would encourage anyone with children to take them to pro-life events so that they can learn firsthand to reject the bad and choose the good. We can accomplish great things by interacting with those already around us and sharing truth from a heart of love, the heart of Christ. When we do that, God can work miracles, and God can change lives. Thank you.